Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and this is day 8 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on writing. So, yay, I made it to day 8, only 92 days to go. And I really wish that I was in bed right now. I really need to get my schedule flipped around, which I keep saying and I keep not doing. I'm very good at saying and not doing. I'm trying to get better at doing what I'm saying. That's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to change, but trying to work on that a little bit. And I kind of put off doing my book today because in part I woke up and I was still just tired and I didn't want to get up and do anything. So I got up and I read my scriptures and meditationals, and then I curled up on my couch because I was cold and tired and played games on my phone. And then I talked to my friend and she was like, "Oh, you're just waiting until you wake up to start doing stuff." And I'm like, "Yep, pretty much." And then of course I did get up, I did go to work, I did get my car washed, I did, some other things, and then I came home and I was grateful I had snacks for my work and I didn't have to buy stuff. And then I came home and made dinner and played more games. And then I decided to do my writing. But while I was out working tonight, I was thinking about my writing, and I was kind of disappointed I didn't get to come home earlier tonight because it started out as a slow night for work, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go home then. I'm going to do what I did yesterday, and I'm just going to go home. And then I'd get almost home, and I'd get more work, and I'd be like, all right, more work. And then I would get disappointed, and I was like, no, I want to go home now. But I actually did better tonight than yesterday as far as work went, so I was grateful for that. I did still cut out early, mostly because I need to get up early in the morning, which is not helping me because it's already 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm still awake. But that's what I get for not doing my writing before I go to work. And I know this, and I keep telling myself this, and then I keep putting up walls. And I was thinking about my books tonight while I was out working, and I was thinking, oh, at the rate I'm going, if I write a chapter a day on the fall of Espinglandia, and there's only 24 chapters, I'll be to chapter 11 by the end of this week, so I'll be to chapter 18 by the end of next week. And so I'm like, in the next 2.5 weeks, or less, I will finish the fall of Espinglandia, like rewriting that whole book. And I was like, holy crap, I'm going to have a third book already written. And I'm getting some responses back from Lanoya and the Teachers of Powers, and if I bug some people about that in my other book, I could get some responses back in the next week or two, and then I can start, when I finish beta reading my friend's book, I can start just revising those books at the same time that I'm doing The Fall of Espinglandia, so I'm kind of doing the same thing I've been doing, only using my books instead of my friend's stuff. And I could simultaneously get that book ready to just be edited. And I'm like, oh, I could have books ready to be edited by the end of November. I could have books ready to be published maybe by the end of November. And I think I start panicking. I start freaking out because everything is it's going well. It's falling into place. I'm focusing on my writing, and my writing is coming into focus. It's working. And I'm freaking out, and I'm panicking, and I'm hitting the brakes, which is my old negative default settings. It's to hit the brakes. Can't succeed, can't finish, can't whatever. And yesterday, my excuse for not doing chapter 8 was I couldn't find what I was looking for. So tonight, I was praying about it, and just like praying I could find what I was looking for. And instead of finding what I was looking for, I had this flow of ideas of how to just write the chapter based on what I could remember and where I want the story to go. So I wrote chapter 8 tonight, this morning, whatever. And I was like, cool, now it's chapter 8. I don't know. I mean, it's only like 2 pages. It's not a long chapter. I don't know that it needs to be a long chapter, but it basically kind of covered what I wanted it to cover. And I was like, huh, I didn't need my old stuff. I wanted my old stuff, but I didn't need it. And I think maybe this is coming to me while I'm doing this video. This isn't pre-thought out, just so you know. But I think maybe I want the old stuff because it's that comfort blanket. It's that something I'm used to. And I don't really need it because the new stuff is just as good, or it takes the place of that. It fills in what I need it to. And I didn't have to rewrite it. I didn't have to reword it. I didn't have to worry about if it was going to make sense in context because I was taking it out of context to, rearrange it, put it in a different order. I was like, huh, I didn't need that. And maybe there's other things in my life, like my games and stuff, that I want, but I don't necessarily need. And so I need to work on letting those things go because I can do just fine without them. I'm just used to having them there. I'm just used to doing them. That's my old habit. And I was talking to my friend today about that, and I think the neuron pathways in my brain are changing with the whole positive negative thing, and they're going more towards positive. But the positive is new and unfamiliar. It's good. It's just new and it's unfamiliar. So I'm not as comfortable with it. And I was thinking about that while I was driving tonight too. And remembering when I first started doing 12-step program years ago, and the first time I felt peace, I just kind of sat there and I was spinning around in my head and there was nothing. It was blank. It was empty. And I was like, and I was uncomfortable. I was very uncomfortable with being at peace because I was looking for the chaos. I was looking for the problem. I was looking for something, and I was like, and there's nothing there. I'm like, where is it? Where's the trick? Where is it? I don't get it. I had to call and talk to my sponsor and be like, I don't get it. And she's like, oh, you're feeling peace. And I'm like, I'm doing what? I don't understand this. So I think something similar to that is happening with me yesterday and maybe a little bit today, in realizing that I'm having that choice, where that change. And tonight I was working and thinking about it, and I was like, it's kind of like a teeter-totter. I feel like I'm in the middle of the teeter-totter. I mean, you're supposed to be on one side or the other as it goes up and down and pushed back and forth, but I'm like, I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle instead of the extremes, which is, a interesting place to be. But I keep going back and forth between the two, and it seems like the old depressing negative thoughts, they're taunting me and they're telling me that I'm not good enough. They're telling me that I need to play the games. They're telling me that I need to run and hide because it's all going to fall apart, because I'm going to do all this work like I've done before in the past, and then something's going to happen and it's all going to get taken away. It's all going to just dissolve. It's all going to go poof and be gone. And that's a scary thought, because that's happened to me in the past. And then there's this other side, this new positive side, this peaceful side that says, hey, you know what? It's okay. Come on in. It's nice. It's clean. It's everything's at peace here. You don't have to worry about anything. It's all gonna work out. And that's it. I mean, it's not taunting. It's just inviting. It's just like this nice, quiet room that's just like, come on in, sit down, relax. Everything's okay. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's okay. And I keep staring at this nice, quiet, peaceful room going, where's the trick? Am I going to get trapped when I go in there? Am I never going to get to come back out again? I don't know that would be a horrible trap or horrible place to be stuck compared to where I have been stuck. But for anybody that has anxiety, you know what that feels like, that pins and needles, like constantly being on pins and needles. And I am so used to constantly being on pins and needles for my life and not being able to sleep or being jolted awake or whatever it is that's happened to me in my life. And I'm constantly on pins and needles and waiting, expecting. And I think part of the reason I struggle going to bed at night, I struggle sleeping, is because I'm listening to whatever might be going on to make sure that it's safe, that I'm not missing something, whether I'm missing something fun that I want to participate in, or whether I'm missing something bad that I need to know about so I can protect myself or run or hide or whatever the case may be. So I'm always anxious. I'm always on pins and needles. And it's very strange to not have that sensation, to not have those pins and needles, to be relaxed, to not be overexcited, to not be not have my voice being high pitched because I'm excited about something, to not be freaking out, to just be like knowing, trusting that God is taking care of everything and that it's all going to work out. And that I have no idea. I mean, I just wrote in my journal and I was like, you know what? I have no idea. I could get 3 or 4 books published in the next 92 days, or I could still have 0 books published in the next 92 days. I will probably have at least 3 books written in the next 92 days, because I mean, I will have The Fall of Espinglandia rewritten at the rate I'm going. There's no doubt in that. And I might actually get Lanoia and the Teachers of Powers revised, along with God's Hand in My Life revised. Whether or not I actually figure out how to get any of those 3 books published in the next 100 days, I have no idea. That would be cool. That would be awesome if I do. But I'm like, they'll be written. And I have so many other stories that I can write. But I also know I need to put them out there, and that scares me. And yet, when I pray about it, when I stop, when I let that positive thinking settle in, there's that peace. Like the pins and needles are gone, the anxiety it's gone, and everything is okay. And it's just like I want to hold my breath, and I want to wait for like the other shoe to drop, for the teeter-totter to bounce the other way and knock me down to the negative side that I've been on my whole life. And but then I'm like, but I kind of like that peaceful feeling, and I want to slide towards that side of the teeter-totter, but I'm having a hard time letting go of the pins and needles, because I think I've used that to protect myself. That's what it's there for. People are supposed to get anxious or nervous when something uncomfortable or something bad is about to happen. It's your body warning you that this is not a good idea. It's the spirit saying, hey, try something different, go do something else, or be careful. Something bad may be happening. I don't know. But I've spent my whole life with that anxiety, and to not have it there is weird. I think it's a good weird. I think it's a positive thing. I think it was nice to just sit and work on my book tonight, and to just, have the ideas flow. And they do. Every time I sit down and start typing and working on my book, they flow. It's just getting myself to open it up and do it. And I hesitate doing it. I let the pins and needles, I let that fear grip me every single time. And I don't open my laptop, and I don't work on it. And now I've committed to this 100 days of writing thing, and I did it for 100 days for gratitude. So now I'm like, I have to do it for my 100 days of writing. And the crazy part is I know that I can do it now. Like I have no excuse. I know no matter how hard it gets or how tired I get, I can do this because I did it for the 100 days for gratitude. And I'm already 8 days in, and I know that I can do it, and I have that peace that I can do it. But then I have that nervous anxiety, that old emotion that's just like, what happens when you do? and I have to say, I mean, there wasn't like this big, huge, grand, I don't know, something when I finished my 100 days of gratitude. I mean, yeah, I had a friend that took me out, and I'm going out to lunch with another friend tomorrow to celebrate. So yes, I'm celebrating. I did my 100 days of gratitude. But it was more of a gradual change over the 100 days of seeing the choices, recognizing the different choices, seeing the good things in my life, building confidence in myself, feeling better about myself, just one day at a time, because I focused on those things that I was grateful for. And now here I am working on my book that I know is 24 chapters long, or was at some point. I don't know how many chapters it's going to end up, because I have to cut out a bunch of stuff, have to reword a bunch of stuff to make it work, to make it fit. So it's going to shrink. Maybe it'll end up just being one book. Maybe I'll still split it into 3 books. I have no idea. I won't know until I'm finished rewriting the whole book. But at the rate I'm going, because I'm working on it every single day, it's going to actually get done. It's not going to be, oh, well, eventually I'll get to it. I mean, I've been rewriting this book for over a year because I just keep putting it off. I always have an excuse. I started trying to do my writing at the same time I was doing my gratitude list, and it just didn't work, and it just got pushed to the side. And now my focus is on my writing. And because my focus is on my writing, that's what I think about when I'm out working. That's what I talk about to other people. And then when I come home, and it's like, okay, I can't go to bed until I work on my writing. And what do you know? My writing is getting done. So I'm like, it's going to happen. I'm going to have these books written. And if they're all written, then I'm going to have to figure out how to publish them. So I'm either going to have to do 100 days of writing and then 100 days of publishing and figuring out that whole publishing portion, or I'm going to have to figure it out while I'm writing, because I'm going to end up with a whole bunch of stuff to publish. Because I'm like, there's 100 days, and if I do 24 chapter books, there's at least 4 books that I can write in 100 days. That's a lot of books. And I have the ideas in my head. It's not like I don't have the ideas for all of those books in my head. In fact, I've already started for 3 other books. 1, 2, 3 other books. Yes. Maybe. Yes, I have. And I have ideas for more. but I haven't finished those other books. So those are other books that I can pull out that I can finish over the next 100 days. But in the process, I would like to actually publish the ones that are finished because I think that would be amazing. And it's amazing to me how calm I am when I'm talking about that, and I feel at peace with the idea of publishing my books. This is a great thing. And then I start to overthink it, and then those negative teeter-totter things start coming back. I start the pins and needle things. So it's interesting to see the choice. It's interesting to realize that my brain is maybe creating new synapses, creating different wavelengths, directions to go, and saying, hey, there's another path that we can go down. But I think I kind of get stuck in that little teeter-totter, like, which path do we go down today? The positive one or the negative one? But it's a visible choice to me now, or maybe like a mentally visible choice, not like physically visible choice. Because at one point in my life, I couldn't see the positive choice. I didn't have examples of the positive choice. I saw other people that were happy all the time and positive about things, and I was like, how do you do that? Because I have no clue. And I'm learning how to do that. And I mean, I've been grateful for things, been taught to be grateful for things. I always said thank you for things when I was praying for things. But I think it was, I don't know, maybe it was insincere, or maybe it was just trained, so it was rote and it was just repetitious. And having to focus on things that I was grateful for and finding something different to be grateful for every day, and praying for things, to see things that I could be grateful for. It changed my perspective and my way of thinking. And I was doing it specifically to get out of a state of depression, to get up and to get willing to move and to do things, because I was stuck. I was getting worse, and I was like, I can't even get out of bed. And now I can get out of bed. I'm a little tired and groggy today. I didn't want to get out of bed, and I'm so ready to go back to bed right now, which is awesome because I got to get up in a few hours. But I can still be grateful for things, and I'm grateful I can still find things to be grateful, that I can see the changes, that I can be at this peaceful state and be like, it's okay. Everything's going to be okay. And I still have no idea how it's going to turn out, because I had no idea how my 100 days of gratitude were going to turn out. And it's not how I thought it was going to be. I didn't realize I was going to be developing confidence in myself. I didn't realize I was going to get a closer relationship with God. I didn't realize any of those things. So I don't know what kind of things I'm going to develop in my writing, or if my books are going to get published, or what's going to happen with them. But there's that piece. There's that positive side of the teeter-totter that just says, slide on down here. Just relax. Don't worry about it. It's all going to be okay. Just keep doing what you're doing, and everything's going to be fine. And it's a nice feeling. It feels good. It feels comfortable. It's nice. But the pins and needles of mine, they just keep popping up, because it's like, we've been here before and it doesn't work. It doesn't last. But it doesn't last because I think I lose focus. I lose sight of my goal. I lose sight of things that I'm grateful for. I focus too much on other people and what other people think of me and what other people think of what I'm doing. And when I focus on that instead of on God and on myself, I lose who I am, and I lose my peace and my serenity and that comfortable place. And I go back to the pins and needles, because that's what I'm familiar with. That's the old negative brain waves, pathways in my head. And I'm like, those will probably always still be there, but I'd like for them to get overgrown and dusty and not huge, so that they become just kind of scary and creepy places I don't want to go anymore. That's what I want, so that I always go down the happy, sunny, positive pathways in my brain, because those are just so much nicer and more friendly. They're so much more welcoming, and I like them. So yes, I'm a bit of a writer. I like the analogies. They they help me to put things into perspective. I think God gives that to me so that I can understand myself sometimes. And hopefully maybe this helps other people understand me, or even understand yourself. I don't really know. But another thing I remembered tonight, I was grateful for my board, because there's a quote that my friend had that I I took for my board. I know she still has hers, so I was going to say I stole it, but I'm like, no, she still has hers. I just have one too. But it says, no, I forgot what it says, expect nothing and appreciate everything. And then I learned in my 12-step programs, one of my sponsors told me that it's like expectations are premeditated resentments. And I realized that the reasons I get disappointed or discouraged is because my expectations aren't met, not because I had a bad day. I mean, I was talking to my friend this morning about yesterday, and I was like, I can't even complain about yesterday, even though work didn't go the way I expected it to. I still got to come home and do I still got to go grocery shopping. I still got to come home and relax and play games and do writing and all of those things. And I was just wide awake and having a great night. And I was like, dang. And it's because I let go of the expectation that I was going to make any money. I was like, yeah, whatever. And then tonight I was like, okay, I'm not making money again. I'm just going to go home and work on my writing. Score. I love working on my writing. And then I started getting work and I was like, oh, crap. Now I got to work. And I just had to laugh at myself because it was my expectation that I was like, oh, I get to go home now. And I got excited about it instead of disappointed. And I would love to, I look forward to the idea of being able to make enough money off of my writing to be able to stay home and have that be what I do full time and not have to go to some other job, not have to be distracted by other things. And eventually, if I keep adding things to do every 100 days, it's going to be a full-time job to keep up with all the stuff that I'm trying to do, and I'm not going to have time to do the other jobs. So hopefully all these things that I'm doing are going to add up to making me some kind of money, because otherwise I'm going to have to start simply replacing things. And I don't want to replace my gratitude, and I don't want to replace my writing. Might be okay with replacing my videos, but my videos are there to help promote my writing. So, and they help me to see the progress that I'm making in my life, which it's a very tangible way to see the progress because I have to share it, I have to talk about it, and then it just kind of pops out when I'm talking, and I'm like, oh, new thought, new idea, this is working. Which I'm grateful that it's working, and I'm grateful that I can do these videos. I'm grateful that I can see my progress. I'm grateful that I was able to write my chapter 8 in my book tonight without having to hunt for something else. And at some point I may find what I was actually looking for, and then it will probably have no bearing on what I wrote, and be like, that's cute, I'm not going to swap it out. Or maybe I'll be like, okay, I do like that. Maybe I'll see if I can swap it out, and maybe it'll fit, maybe it won't. I don't know. Or maybe I will never find it again. I probably will if I have to go back through and reread my whole old book, but then I try to keep fixing and yeah. And then it gets to be a tangled mess. So we're going to see if I can sort out chapter 9 tomorrow, because I do want to take bits and pieces of that from other chapters. So hopefully I can get myself to do that before work. Or if nothing else, I know I have nothing going on Thursday, so I can stay up as late as I want tomorrow, because it won't matter. I will just sleep in. But at some point, I would like to get my schedule where I go to bed earlier and do things earlier in the day, because I think it would help me to have a regular sleep schedule, and then I would not be so tired all the time. And then I could guarantee that my writing time is my sacred time and that it gets done. But at least I know that it is getting done, and I did write in my journal again tonight. So I'm like, I am doing my writing. I am doing my non-negotiable things, even if it is 4 o'clock in the morning before I do them and before I can go to bed. So at this rate, I will be in bed at 5, and I will get about 5 hours of sleep before I have to get up and go for the day. But maybe that will motivate me to do stuff earlier. I hope it will motivate me to do stuff earlier. I say that, but I also know change doesn't happen overnight, and that I do things when I'm ready, and God has a timetable that I'm not fully aware of, and that I know things are working in me towards change, towards something better. And as I get more comfortable with the better, as I get more comfortable with the peaceful things, I will be more willing to let go of the other things that are standing in my way of having peace, of having a schedule, and things will start to fit and to fall into place a little bit better one day at a time. And I don't have to beat myself up for not doing it quite the way that I want to or that I plan to, but knowing that I'm still striving for something better, and that's good enough. And I'm grateful that that's good enough. I'm grateful I am good enough, and I'm grateful that I'm getting things done. So, if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think will help them. And that's kind of all I have for tonight. So, thank you. Have a great day.